Russia's Prime Minister announces an economic restructuring plan in hopes of restoring state finances. The plan calls for partial privatization of hundreds of state companies between 2010 and 2012.
From an economic standpoint, they want to get the companies that require huge amounts of investment off the state books if they can help it. They realize that a lot of this is a massive investment suck, that they lack a lot of the technology and the capital that's necessary to make these companies work, and certainly make them work at global standards.
I'm Marla Dial, and this is Dispatch. Prime Minister Vladimir Putin announced plans on Wednesday to take about 250 state companies private in the next year alone. The long-term plan calls for changes in the capitalization structure of several key port and shipping companies, which are vital to Russian trade but became fiscal casualties of the global economic crisis. Putin has called for private industry to help pull Russia out of the clutches of crisis.
Foreign investment will only be involved to a very small degree. The Russians do not want to hand over any critical infrastructure to somebody that they can't control, foreigners being first and foremost on that list. And so you'll probably see some minority stakes, some power companies, anything that requires a huge amount of capital investment but is not necessarily a critical threat to state power. But the rails, the ports, those are almost certainly going to remain in Russian hands, even if not state hands.
But the plan does carry political implications within the Kremlin. It was promulgated by a group of reformists led by Vladislav Surkov. Surkov is looking to use economic rationalization as a means of gutting the power of a political rival. Deputy Prime Minister Igor Sechin.
Almost every manager of these companies, of these failed companies, is from the Sechin clan, typically linked into the FSB in some way. These are people who are politically well connected and have a great deal of security and intelligence experience, but have never had to balance a checkbook, much less run a company. Because of that, you're basically looking at a wholesale purge of all the economic influence of the entire Siloviki. You remove the money from their clan, they won't be able to stand up to their opponents very well.